Hey there, welcome back. In this video, I'm going to show you how now we can add a contact to KW Command. In the top right corner up here, we see an import button and an add contact. So in the previous video, I explained that import is a way that you can upload bulk contacts. Now, my next video in this playlist will be about this import spreadsheet and how to use it to upload bulk contacts. For this video, we're going to focus on add contact, which is how we add an individual contact to our command database. If you click on that button, this dialog screen will show up, and we have the ability here then to type in a full name. So in this case, I'm going to type in Kyle Smith. Now you can notice that is the only thing that is a requirement to adding a contact. You only need a name. But I'm going to highly suggest that you come in here and you make sure that you put in an email address. The reason for that is this will cause duplications to be avoided. In KW Command, the unique identifier for a contact is the email address. So what happens is, if I have this contact in here, Kyle Smith at gmail.com, and the email address that is associated with that contact, if I try to upload another contact with that same email address, I am going to get an error. So even though the name is different, if the email matches, it'll cause it to not come into Command in order to cause duplication. Or in this case, you would get an error. So make sure you're using that person's email address. I also have the ability here to put in someone's phone number. If you're on a team, who owns that contact? So is it the team or is it someone else? In the case of if I'm on a team and I bring my own sphere of influence into the team, through my agreement with the team, I still may maintain control of those contact records. So I can also come in here and put a phone number in. So I'll put in my cell phone number. And I also, here at the bottom, have the ability to say, hey, would I like to mark this person as a lead? In my previous video, I showed you how you can do filters and look at your leads. And so if I want to mark this person as a lead, I can check that off right there. And now they'll get that little L symbol next to their name. I also can come in here and add tags. So if this person maybe was an open house person, right? I could come in here and type in open house. You can see if I don't have a tag, I can actually create that custom tag right here. But let's say this was maybe a KW agent. I will show you in a future video how you can create a tag library. And in this case right here, I can then say click on KW and it adds that tag to this contact. Down here it says add more information. And if I click on that, I actually have a few drop downs. The most important are probably the top two. So we have additional contact information. And if I click on that, it'll give me a drop down. And this is where I can fill in some more information. So does this person have a secondary email that you want to record in the contact record? Would you like to know what's their preferred method of contact? If you ask them in a buyer or seller consultation, and they said, hey, I really like to be text or use text, I can go ahead and say, hey, text, right? Additional phone numbers. This is an important field here. This is your addresses section. And so I can come in here and I can start typing in someone's address. You will see that we will get a drop down of addresses from the United States Postal Service. The reason for this is we would actually be able to send postcards, right, or print mailing labels. And so they want to make sure it's an accurate address. So I would then click on the address for the contact. And this is an important step here, so don't miss this. In order to get those mailing addresses, because we do have investors, right, that live in a certain place, but it may not be their primary residence. It might be a secondary residence. If this is their mailing address, make sure you go right here and you click on same as mailing address. And then right here, you have your different social media networks. So if I wanted to come in here and put in this contact's Facebook URL, I could do that right here and click save. And then I'd quickly be able to go to their Facebook page from inside the contact record. And I'll show you what that looks like. The easiest way to get this Facebook URL, I do get a lot of questions about this, is go to Facebook, search for the person you're looking for. And if you actually click on their name, it kind of resets that page. And at the very top in the URL bar, just like it is up here, you will see it'll say facebook.com/Kyle Holleran. That's the URL you're looking for to plug in right here. And then it makes that connection to Facebook. Drop down here, we have an about section. So I can drop down about. There is a legal name section. So in this case, maybe I call my client, Bob Smith. But their legal name is Robert Smith, right? I could go ahead and put in their legal name, any sort of description about this person. Met Bob at 123 Main Street, looking to buy in 2021, right? So I can go ahead and put in some information there. I could also come in and select his birthday. So I could come in here and say, oh, his birthday was then. If you're not sure of the year, my suggestion is just go ahead and put in 2020. That is fine. That's a question I get a lot as well. So if you don't know the year, go ahead and put that in as just 2020. And then down below here, we also have home anniversary. So if they bought a property with you, you can go ahead and put in the home anniversary. And also here, you can start to add in some different relationships. Now, this doesn't do much right now. You can link people together through this relationships section here, but they are going to still remain as separate contact records. So if you already have a spouse in, you already have a contact created for that person, you could simply come in here and type in their name. You will see their name show up, and you can go ahead and say, yep, Minnie Mouse is the spouse of Donald Duck, or whoever the contact is that you're creating. Scroll down a little bit further, we do have a company name. So I can come in here and say Microsoft, right? And I could actually hit create company. That's the company I want to use. Do I have a company address, job title? All those things are done. And then lastly, down here, we do have a sales pipeline. This is the opportunity section. We'll get further into this in the opportunities checklist section. And you also have the ability to create your own custom fields. So as an example here, I showed you in the first playlist where you could go into settings and you have the ability to create custom tags and custom fields. So if I wanted to come in here and let's say one of the parts of my business is I give away pies every year at Thanksgiving or Christmas, I'd be able to create that as a custom field and have a drop down and say, hey, is this person like a chocolate or a pumpkin pie? And that way, when it comes time, I could actually do a filter of my contacts and figure out how many of these pies that I need to order based on what people's preferences are in my contact database. And then finally, as soon as I'm done, I can come right down here to the bottom and click on create, and it'll go ahead and create that contact record for me. Now, if I scroll up here, you'll see this is the contact that I just created. It'll show you that they were created on June 26th, which is today, a few seconds ago. You can see here it has the KW tag, and then I've got Kyle Smith, and I also remember marked them as a lead, and that's why you're seeing the little L button right there. Now, in the future video, we're going to get into the actual details page, but as I click into this, you will notice a lot of that information that I put in, including address, right, mailing address, legal name, description, birthday. These are all the things that I just put in into that add contact screen does show up on this, what we call the contact details page. I'm going to do a separate video on this entire page and walk you through the contact details page, but that's how you add a contact. So your homework after this call, if you haven't done so already, is go up there, add a contact, maybe add yourself to your database. And that way you can test a lot of things on yourself before you would send them out to your clients, or maybe put in your spouse or a family member and have them kind of play along as you start to learn how to add contacts to Command. So that is how you add a contact to Command. If you have any questions, obviously let me know, and we'll keep moving forward. The next video is going to be on using that import spreadsheet to bring in bulk contacts at one time. I'll talk to you soon.